Hello, my name is Georganne Ford with the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation, and I'm here today with one of our attorney mediators, Michael Hughes. And Michael's topic, I think, is going to have all of us listening intently because it has to do with COVID and custody and vaccinations. So, Michael, we are thrilled to have you back and looking forward to learning from, what's happening out there with this vaccine and custody.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Regina. I appreciate being back. And this is an interesting topic, and it's not just through custody and people going through a divorce action. Vaccine and people getting vaccinated is an issue throughout the state and throughout the United States, that some people just don't want to get vaccinated. And then when you start talking about your children, some people are very concerned about getting their children vaccinated, and just from what we see recently, that there has been approval to give vaccines for anyone over 12 years of age, and then they're doing trials right now for people 12 years, or children 12 years and younger. So again, going through a divorce, people need to make that decision on what they're going to do for the benefit of their children. And really what comes to be is it's a legal custody decision. And I know we've talked about legal custody before, but legal custody is decisions with regard to what doctors kids will see, what medical procedures they'll have, what vaccines they'll take, as well as other things such as education, schooling,
Right.
and what religion they'll practice. So legal custody, if it's shared, meaning parents need to make that decision together, they're going to have to make that decision together on the vaccine. And where some issues may come to play is if one parent really wants to get the vaccine for their child, and then the other parent is a person who really doesn't want to get the vaccine either for themselves or for their child. So that's where you can have some issues.
So just a quick question. When you say, did you say shared legal custody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that most common with couples, is what you say?
It is. I would think it is most common in Pennsylvania, that the vast majority of parents going through a divorce are going to have shared legal custody of their children. It may not always be shared physical custody. There may be primary and partial with that, but with legal custody, it's almost always shared legal custody.
So you do make the decisions, you have to make them together.
You do. And again, that's where if one parent feels very strongly that they really want their child to get the vaccine, they may have to file a motion in court, or go to a mediator and talk to a mediator and say, can we sit down and talk about this on what's in the best interest of our child? And you're going to have to take, as a mediator, you're going to have to take and listen to both parents, and maybe look for some expert opinions from medical professionals, and maybe even direct the parents to go seek out some medical opinions from their pediatrician, from their own doctors on the vaccine, and the benefits of it and the cons to it of giving their child a vaccine, and then really try to weigh what's in the best interest of the child. If you go before a judge instead of a mediator, a judge is going to have to make that same decision and do those same things, where, taking what's in the best interest of the child, listening to both parents. And I think a judge will want some medical experts and medical opinions as well. So you could do it before a judge, or you could certainly do it with a mediator working through the issue.
Is that something that's common? And then with your mediation programs, that
I wouldn't say it's common right now, but it's something that we could certainly work with and assist as you're going through the mediation process in getting your divorce through Alpha Center. So you could certainly have that discussion in there, but it's not part of what the overall package is right now, but it certainly can be part of the discussion.
Okay. So it's going to be something it's going to be that important. It's probably come up a lot.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things now that the vaccine is out, and the vaccine has been out for a while. It's one of those things that I think is going to continue to come up, and something that's going to need to be addressed by parents going through a divorce, and by mediators like myself in handling these matters.
Yeah. So what are you seeing now? Are you seeing people are being able to agree, or there's going to be a whole lot of disagreement, do you think?
Well, that's where I think we're going to have to work with couples going through this. We're going to try to find that middle ground, that that meeting of the minds where both parents can be comfortable with their decision. The other thing that we can do is we can make a decision for right now, but there could be a hold on it and say, look, let's wait for 6 months for another trial to happen. Let's wait till our child turns a certain age, and a year from now, a year and a half from now, and then we'll make the decision at that point on what it's going to be. And I think that's what some people who don't want to get vaccinated right now, that's their concern, because there's not enough knowledge about the vaccine. So again, as a mediator, you try to find that middle ground, that meeting of the minds for both parties, and try to make them both happy and comfortable with the decision they're making for the benefit of their child.
So
So
that was
again,
an
you will
interesting.
have to have some give and take on both parties' part.
So you could put it on hold. They could agree to put it on hold.
Absolutely, you could. And you could put that in an agreement that in 6 months we're going to revisit this, or in a year we've decided that in a year, we're going to our child will get the vaccine in a year. Something
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, you could absolutely push it down the road a little bit if you wanted to. So
That's
there's a lot of options for parents coming through mediation and trying to work through what's in the best interest of their child in getting, or even not getting, the vaccine and holding it for a little bit.
right. Yeah, I think that's it. Just looking at all the different alternatives, we don't think about that. It just seemed like it
No,
was a yes
no.
or a no, but it's really not.
Yeah, that's right. There could be, like I said, that middle ground, that meeting of the minds where even a delay might be something comfortable for both, mom and dad in making the decision for their child.
Mhm. Hmm. Is there anything else on this topic? I mean, it's
No, I think those are really the important points that I wanted to cover with regard to legal custody and the COVID-19 vaccine.
yeah. I mean, this is going to be definitely just the idea of it being so new. It's not new about vaccinations, but this is people do get nervous about it. So I could
They
see this being
absolutely do,
really.
and I think people see um, the pace with which the vaccine came out, and I think that raises some concerns too. But I think if you look at the 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 development of it, and the medicine, how it was developed, I mean, I do think there is um, some points to say that it is a safe vaccine, and I think there's a lot of people getting it, and I think it's showing some benefit throughout the United States in areas where there's high vaccination rates. There's low COVID counts now, so
Mhm.
that's a positive. But again, I'm not going to say I'm for or against it. But when you look at the numbers, you look at the numbers, and you see what's there.
Well, what this did, I'm guessing for everyone that was listening, it does show you that mediation, I mean, rather than trying to solve a problem like this, rather than have a court make that decision of whether or not our children would be vaccinated, I'm sure that's just a very big reason to try to look at mediation.
I would 100% agree with you. Through mediation, you're making the decision for the benefit of your children. Through the court, it's really a judge who's making the decision for your child. It's not you.
Right.
So I would think that you'll be much more comfortable if you both can come to, again, that meeting of the minds, and what's in the best interest of your child.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for being our guest today, bringing this topic front and center for us. If any of you are interested in a free consultation about the mediation program at the Alpha Center, you just want to talk to Michael or one of our attorneys, please give us a call, and that's 1-800-310-9085. Again, Michael, thank you for being our guest.